I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and you thought the new iPad was the iPad 2. Well, move aside because the new iPad is in the office. We're going to take a look in the unboxing at the new iPad, also known as the Apple iPad 3. But before we do that, some love to Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with tablets, phones, and more for use in our One Paw Bandit game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, they'll help you walk out working. They'll set up your email, your web, your browsing experience, your music, and more. So when you walk out that door, you're good to go at Best Buy Mobile with your new iPad, or iPad 3 as we're all kind of really calling it behind the scenes. Let's take a look at it now. Unboxing. New iPad. Is this all it can be? Or does Apple have some stuff to put in the next one? We'll find out starting right now. Here it is. A lot of people have been waiting for it. Don't call it the iPad 3 though. Apple's calling it the new iPad. And I get where they're going with that scheme. You know, they say the MacBook Pro, the MacBook Air, all the MacBook products haven't really had different names or any sort of numbering scheme outside of their various names over the years. But it's kind of interesting to go from iPad to iPad 2 and then back to iPad. It seems kind of odd. I feel bad for people that are going to sell theirs on eBay in a couple months. It's like the new iPad. But anyway, here it is. iPad, 16 gigabytes, the model that I got for review purposes. I bought this myself. This actually did not come from Apple or PR or anybody like that. But this particular model is a 16 gigabyte model. It's the Wi-Fi only model. And like the old iPads, they start at $499.99. You can get a 16, 32, or 64 gigabyte version, and you can get those in either Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi plus cellular capabilities. Now the improvements to the new iPad over the iPad 2, a couple of things. First of all, you get one with cellular radio. It has 4G LTE connectivity on AT&T and on Verizon, so you can take advantage of that fast 4G LTE speeds. And you can see in the box, comes with an iPad, a dock connector to USB cable, 10-watt power adapter, and supports Wi-Fi 802.11, ABG, and N, and Bluetooth 4.0. And then, of course, this is the white model. So like I said, it starts at $499, and then with the Wi-Fi, it's $499, $599, $699, and then for Wi-Fi plus cellular, it's $629, $729, $829. Now, there's some improved specs over here. It still has the same 9.7-inch display, but it's sporting a Retina display, so same as the iPhone. There it is. Beautiful white iPad. We're going to call it the iPad 3 just for purposes of this. The iPad 3 or the new iPad with your FaceTime camera on the front. Here's another spec bump as well, 5 megapixel iSight. So interestingly enough, a couple of things. First of all, they went back to calling it an iSight camera, but it's a 5 megapixel shooter on the back that takes HD video as well. So I've got my little adapter here, little baby adapter. It's a baby. And then you got Apple in California here, designed by Apple in California. Typical manuals, I'm assuming. Yeah, little stuff in there. I don't read manuals. Tech people don't read manuals. They just get lost and then complain about it on Twitter. And then you have the USB cable over here, which plugs into the AC adapter module and gives you the power that you need. So take a look here. It's a little bit heavier. You don't really notice it, or at least I don't notice it comparing this to the older iPad. Listen to that plastic coming off. Ooh, that's nice. And then, of course, like I said, 5 megapixel camera, Retina display on this bad boy, so that's an improvement. 2048 by 1536 pixels, if I can recall. So if you like that Retina display on your iPhone 4 or 4S, you're going to love the Retina display on the Apple iPad 3. I'm sorry, the new iPad. So white version here, same things over on the sides. Volume rocker, you've got your switch here to toggle between mute and being on full volume. Power button up at the top, and then your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So riddle me this, if it has a 5 megapixel camera, do people, I just find it funny when people hold up an iPad like that just to take pictures or shoot video, but hey, you can do it. That's what matters. So iPad's here. Let's load this up and get into Wi-Fi. Let me find a good Wi-Fi signal. So we got through the Wi-Fi setup, and you can see terms and conditions, and this obviously isn't going to show as well on the camera as I'd like it to, but you can really see that Retina display is absolutely beautiful in comparison to the old iPad. Gone, much like when we went from the 3GS and the iPhone side to the 4, gone is the pixelation, and it's been replaced by a beautiful display. So let's get in here and take a look at some pictures. Yeah, we're going to use that, dictation, and then we're going to not send the diagnostics, and we're going to start using the iPad right now. But I mean, you can absolutely see gorgeous display here, particularly when you see the colors in the background. So let's go into some of the wallpapers here and take a look and see if we can get a better idea as to, let's do that. And you can really just see some of these wallpapers that have been on the iPad and the iPhone for some time. You can really see the texture in these. For example, you can see the little texture in the rock. So it is a beautiful display. I'll give them that. So just gorgeous improvement. And so it's going to be great for reading text, or whether you do email on your device or you read a lot of text, you read New York Times, read any sort of the popular periodicals on your iPad. You're going to notice that. And let's go to let's just let's take a look at messages, for example. And you have iMessage in here, and of course you're going to need your Apple ID to activate iMessage, but it does have that functionality for iMessage and of course FaceTime as well. So along with the iPod Touch, the iPhone, and now Mac computers, you can take advantage of FaceTime capabilities on this bad boy as well. But in terms of functionality of iOS, not a whole lot's changed here. You can see same 9.7-inch display, so size-wise, it's still pretty similar. And one thing I like, I think 9.7 is borderline for a lot of people, because if you're holding this in portrait mode, you can see my fingers touch, and that's about as big as you can get with the portrait keyboard. Of course, you can use it in landscape mode as well. If you're in an application that supports it, and you get a nice large keyboard as well, and you can buy the additional cases at the Apple Store for $69, if I remember right. It allows you to kind of prop it up and use it a little bit more like an actual tablet. So let's take a look at the browser here. Let's go into Safari and load up, of course, our favorite website, phonedog.com. You can see same stuff here, notifications at the top, iPad, Wi-Fi connected, and then, of course, if you have a cellular version, you're going to see the 4G LTE logo if you're in a market that supports 4G LTE. So let's go to phonedog.com, load that up, and take a look right now. So let's do some pinch to zoom, and you can really see, again, I don't know if the camera's doing it justice, but beautiful Retina display, even zooming all the way in on this text. I mean, it just looks gorgeous in comparison to the iPad 2. And again, I think for a lot of people that are coming perhaps, or came in the past, from 3GS to 4, you'll really notice that difference between a non-Retina display and a Retina display. So they've done a really good job with that. What else can we take a look at? Let's see. Take a look at the calendar as well, just to give you a run through here and see how it looks on the device as well. So all in all, a nice improvement again, but it's an evolutionary update for the iPad, much like the iPhone 4S was for the iPhone 4. So I think a lot of people were disappointed in the fact that it wasn't a huge design change. And then outside of some of the specs, quad-core graphics, 9.7-inch Retina display, 5-megapixel camera, as opposed to the past in the iPad 2. There were some nice upgrades, but they're still relatively minor in comparison to what people thought they should have done. So unfortunately, that's the state of the industry we're in now, where we see these rumors and leaks that sound great, and then you look at the actual product and you're like, well, it's actually more revolutionary than, or evolutionary rather, than revolutionary. But still a nice device, starting at the same price point, and going to compete with all of those Android tablets on the market. Much more coverage to come on the Apple iPad 3, also known as the new iPad, on phonedog.com. Keep it locked on the site for continuing coverage. Be sure to follow us on Facebook as well, facebook.com/phonedog. Head over there, like us, let us know what you think of the new iPad. Be sure to follow me on Twitter as well, phonedog_Aaron, and on Facebook at facebook.com/phonedogab. I'm off to play with my new iPad, the new iPad, and see what it can do. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.